I saw that video you put up, Abba, about fat people, and I didn't like it.
Ooh.
Which one? The one about making jokes about fat people?
No, kind of. Yeah. Okay. So the most recent video.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah. Go ahead. What's wrong with me? Which one? Are you the one I make fun of the fat girl, or the other one where I say like this whole like fat acceptance thing is nonsense?
I guess a little bit of both. Because the first thing, because there's a couple. It sounds like you're ready to get through this as fast as possible. So I'll try to be very concise.
Yeah. When you're calling him out on his mistakes, he wants to move through as quickly as possible because he feels really like.
I understand. I do the exact same thing. That's why I wanted to move through the rape apologist thing, right? So listen, the first video I saw was that swim thick video, and like the only thing that I got out of that kind of bothered me was the understanding of like loving yourself as like a fat person, because it seems like a lot of people think that means you're supposed to love that you're fucking morbidly obese, where it's more about just like loving yourself to the point where you're ready to work on yourself and actually like work on your health. It's eating yourself to death. So it felt like you didn't really understand that. But then in the most recent video, I had the biggest issue that I had with it was the fact that like your assumption was that this girl didn't tell people she was fat, or the guy, so he canceled on her, and then you use that as like an excuse to call her a whale. And I don't think that's a proportionate response.
Hold on, no. So here's what happened. There was a bunch of news articles saying she was posting selfies and then basically using incredibly deceptive pictures to basically get some affection or whatever it was, and then she'd show up on the date and the person would be revolted, and then that turned into like some giant scandal. And I'm like, okay. So then she does a video, and the video starts with just her face. I'm like, word. And then the bitch back up, and I was like, God damn, yeah, I'll probably leave the day too if you hit your face and you hit your body. And so, yeah, I had no qualms about doing that. No. I have no qualms about doing that because all the people be like, oh my God, this is unacceptable. You can't make fun of these people. You can't say that kind of mean stuff. I know for a fact that if some short dude was lying about his height the whole time, showed up like in as a hobbit or some shit, nobody would have any qualms about me making all kinds of roast jokks about him. But now it's a fat person. Everybody wants to walk on eggshells.
So
I don't really give a fuck.
Both should be unacceptable.
That's the. I'm wondering what article you're referencing.
There was a bunch of social media posts, and there was an article specifically that she actually referenced herself that said that they quoted her. Hold on, an interview.
The Sun article.
I think it's either Sun or something like that, but someone said they had an interview with her.
She quoted the Sun article, and she was calling that one out. But in that article, it had all of her original posts linked in it. And if you had just watched them, that narrative would have been destroyed immediately. So if that was the one you're referencing, then like the idea of what you got out of what she said is like completely destroyed, because she's very explicit in like a series of 3 videos that are linked in that video of like, hey, he didn't even cancel on, he unmatched her, he didn't even go. And then she's like, well, I'm going to show you my fit because I was going to go out. So she shows people the fit that she thinks is cute, and then she follows up with like, oh, something about how like this is all the photos I use in my profile. I don't know, like it has nothing to do with me being fat. He just unfollowed. And maybe it was because he would like, I don't know if you guys have this sometimes when you get like very erect, you know, like you get into werewolf mode and you think everything's attractive, and then maybe he had his post nut clarity and found her unattractive because she was fat. But it had nothing to do with the fact that of her misrepresenting herself, and it says it inside that video. Like it references all those TikToks. So it's like confusing. Hold up.
So the narrative is pretty easy. I can actually link you the social media posts and the articles that were linking to that.
Right, cool,
now, if the article more in depthly at the bottom or somewhere in there kind of laid out the rest of the point, then maybe I didn't read it correctly. That's fine. But there's a giant difference between me making up some kind of narrative that actually existed online based off social media posts in the article itself, and then me misreading or misunderstanding the situation, 1, and 2, the video was up for like 30-40 minutes before I took it down. So you have to understand, once I was apprised of the information, I immediately removed it. And so what's the issue that you have with what I did things? It feels like you're trying to ascribe to me some intentionality to paint her some way that she wasn't actually painted in the social media. Is that what you're trying to say?
It seems like you didn't go through like the proper steps to just like verify what she said in the articles you're referencing to kind of dunk on a fat girl. That's what it feels like to me. And by the way, just so you know, I watch your content. It's not like I hate you and I'm in here for like
I'm not saying you do, so go ahead.
You should hate him.
You are. I should, right? But no, but like that's it. Like that's what it felt like. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm coping.
You're not wrong.
Papa Gut. But that's what it felt like. So I want to talk to you about it.
So if you want, if you just want to say, yo, I don't feel like you did your due diligence, and I feel like if you'd have been a little bit more primed and a little bit more well researched, you could have avoided that entire narrative. That's fair.
Sure. Yeah. But then even afterwards, when you were like, yeah, I don't know, you were basically telling people like, well, what research do I really have to do? I would say just watch her core TikToks to see what she has to say. I don't think that's an unreasonable step of research.
Yeah, just do one piece of research in your life.
Jesus.
No. Listen. You guys can say that's probably the kind of research you do, and I think that's a reasonable ask, and you can certainly make that ask, and I could say no.
Okay. Can I see those articles?
Well,
I'm curious.
wait,
Because you made it seem like she was
there-
like predatorily like not representing
Hold up.
herself.
Wait, but isn't there a difference between best practice, like neutral, and then immoral? Like I would say, like best practice would be doing like all of the above and like going above and beyond. But like I feel like if you fuck up and then you like correct it immediately as like quickly as possible, isn't that like kind of the next best alternative?
He's saying I have a responsibility beforehand to do a little bit more work so that the fuck up never ends up happening, which is a fair statement to make.
It is, and it's absolutely true.
It's not even really what I'm saying.
It is what you're saying.
It's not even what because I fucked up before too. What I'm saying is that after the mess up, you're like, well, it's not really my fault. It's the social media article's fault.
Here it is.
Instead of just being like, yeah, I should have checked a little bit deeper into it. And then on top of that, it doesn't seem like it's warranted to call her like a whale and dunk on her.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't see the core video because
I disagree. I disagree. And again, I'll say
It
this
was
for the 100th
necessary
time.
to call her a whale.
Hold on. No, it's not necessary or unnecessary. There's the idea when he says necessary, unnecessary. It's like you didn't have to do that, and I agree. I didn't have to, but I don't think there's anything wrong.
I think it's disrespectful to.
Okay, there you go. That's what we're getting to, and that's my point. It's only disrespectful. Okay, listen. If you're operating off the information that I had, let's say hypothetically, everything I believed at the time was
Send me the information.
True. Okay, hypothetically, if I said everything I said at the time was true, okay,
Okay.
you would only say
what's the specific narrative that you're saying is true?
That she was misrepresenting the way that she looked, showed up on the date, was upset
intentionally to like trap guys in there, or do you think that if she did do that, it's because she's
yes,
self-conscious?
plenty of people, plenty who maybe it's because they're self-conscious, whatever it is. I still think
wrong, but why is it warranted to dunk on her because she's self-conscious and didn't like accurately represent
yes,
her
because
body?
you're wasting people's time. You're going out here misrepresenting the way that you look to the nth degree, wasting people's emotional investment. You don't get no sympathy on me. And again, I'll say this for the 10th time. The only time we have this kind of narrative is when we're talking about fat people.
It's not true. Fat people are the easiest to dunk on out of like any other group of people.
Okay, are you sitting here seriously and trying to tell me? No. Are you seriously sitting here trying to tell me that if this was a short person in this regards and they were misrepresenting their height and people dunked on them afterwards, that you would come here and defend them with the same degree?
Well, I personally would. Yeah.
That is the biggest cope. That is the biggest cope. But okay,
that's not the correct question. If you said, would society do that? I'd say probably not.
It's not just society. You wouldn't do it either.
Probably would, but
that's cap, bro.
I just can't imagine having compassion for someone different than him.
Wow. I literally have seen no, stop. I have seen hundreds of videos dunking on short people every single day.
Did Papa Gut do any of those videos?
No, but I don't see people defending them. I don't see people going out of their way to make commentary saying you can't make these. Vast majority of the people just socially accept it. Let's keep it a stack. The only reason why this is a big deal.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, Papa Gut wouldn't do that. And now he's criticizing you. Are you
Oh,
holding yourself?
come on, Destiny. What the fuck? You're
What?
just pure shit.
It's
a fair point. Papa Gut would never do any of these things. Abba's holding him to standards of other internet people. That's not fair.
Would Papa Gut, if Abba did the same thing but about a short guy, said all the same shit, would Papa Gut be dissatisfied and say, I know you apologized, I know you took it down, but you should have done more research.
Yes.
No, he was 5'6".
You realize that Papa Gut is literally
known.
5'5". Yes, of course he'd be here saying the same shit.
Absolutely. I'm really short, so I'm very offended by
well,
that.
listen. If you are the only person on this planet that would, congratulations.
Wow.
Can I just see the sources? Like
show him the source. Show him one source, Abba, if you've ever seen one in your life.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Destiny, let's go.
What? I'm just asking. This is a guy that's like, Hassan doesn't do any research and he just calls people incels.
We'll stop. I've already sent you a friend request. I can send you the links to the social media posts as well as the article that I referenced, and then we can go there. Again, if your point is I should have done more thorough reading and that's it, then I'm cool with that. There you go.
Like I said, I don't think that a girl showing up to a date and like not representing her obesity.
And that's your opinion, and we disagree.
Yeah, that's fair. We don't have to keep arguing about it. I don't want to go in like a circle, but like I just don't think that warrants a level of disrespect of calling.
True. We should have like basic human dignity.
That's fine. And I would say that the only reason people say that is because it's a fat person. No, I think they're fair game.
If a short guy doesn't accurately represent himself,
nobody cares about short guys. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about short guys.
I feel like I hear short people cry a lot about short people.
Listen.
Oh, okay, and nobody cares. Sorry, Papa.
Where are your defense of short people videos? Like, why are you spending your time on fat people? Spend more time.
Link one, Abba. Link one short person defense video.
You should spend more time shitting on short people. That's the better thing.
No, where's his defense of short people?
Stop. I've literally, my most viral video is one defending short people. So I don't even know what it is that you're talking about.
Is it also dunking on a fat girl though at the same time?
And dunking on tall people?
Yeah.
Okay. So That pretty much covers it. Yes, that was your main criteria issue with what I said.
Yes, I appreciate you talking to me about it. Thank you.
That's not a problem. My pleasure, man.
I like it. I like it.
You shouldn't have liked it. It was a pretty rude and disrespectful conversation. I feel like he's carrying over a lot of that energy. He's carrying over a lot of that energy from the video to you.
I appreciate the commentary there.
Destiny, I understand where you're coming from. As a short person, you know that your issues have never been catered to. And I just want you to know, Destiny, I'll fight for even you, short king.
Can I explain why I'm not like
he's over 5'8"?
What he's saying. Most people, hold on, because here's the thing. Like, I still disagree with you, but at least you're not like playing this baby bullshit game of like, well, that's not actually what I said. Like, you're just like, yeah, listen, I don't give a fuck. So many people, especially when they say some shit that I don't particularly care about, when it's like for fat people, because I'm a obese piece of shit. They're like, pretend this game. We're like, no, I actually care about fat people. Blah 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 blah. I'd rather you be like, you know, bro, fuck off. Like, that's totally fine with me. I can respect that. I'd rather just admit your face.
I just don't care like about this whole idea of like not making fun of people based off physical.
I think you can make fun of people. I just don't think that, like, when it comes to like a disrespectful thing, I just feel like disrespect should be met.
Well, disrespect.
Like,
hold on. What you view
disrespectful? So I wouldn't be disrespectful to her.
The idea when you say it's disrespectful is you're essentially trying to say that this is stuff that shouldn't be uttered online. That's essentially the connotation.
When you're saying that like she's a fat whale because she misrepresented her, I just don't think that's a proportionate
He really said fat whale?
Absolutely, bro. Hold up.
Wasn't that girl a cutter?
It's not a. That's funny, Destiny.
Well, would you actually sleep with her?
I'm proud of you. You're getting better with your jokes where you're not saying I'm joking anymore. Very good. I will say that based off the context of which I took it in, I do not feel bad for the joke. Now, understanding the context in which I said it in, I not only took down the joke, but I apologized for it. So that's the difference. I agree that I'm not
doubling down on the joke.
No, I don't feel bad for telling the joke specifically. I feel bad for directing at somebody who didn't deserve it in that context. You understand?
I get what you're saying. Okay.
Right. So here's an example. So no, I'll just finish. So here's an example. If there's a shit dude on screen, I'm not gonna just go off, rag it off like, hey, and do a bunch of jokes and go hard and roast the fuck out of him for the rest of the
Why you did to her?
All right. And so I wouldn't do that. But, however, if he's out here acting big-chested and being arrogant or whatever, then that's when the roasting comes in. Now you can.
Was that the narrative of what she did? Like, was she like, oh, f this guy? Was that the narrative?
No, the narrative that what she did was that she was intentionally misrepresenting herself on her pictures. No. Hey, listen, I don't care if it's not big-chested. That's not the only criteria.
But that's what you just said. That's the criteria for the short guy.
That's the criteria for the short guy, and the short guy was also misrepresenting himself.
Standards, bro.
No. If the short guy was misrepresenting his looks online, wearing a bunch of heels that were 10 inches, or were just taking angles that were intentionally deceptive to hide the fact that he was a hobbit, then the moment I found out, I would roast the fuck out of the hobbit. Do you understand?
Yeah, now, so that was wrong. I think it's okay to say like, yeah, people have preferences, and so somebody doesn't have to date a fat girl.
No. You're thinking of like the politically correct answer, which is like, oh, you know, I'm gonna just say that that's incorrect and you shouldn't do that, and that's fine. That's the empathetic, regular.
Look at him show his ass. Politically correct to treat people with basic human dignity.
So, if a trans person does the same thing, can I call them the T-slur if they show up and they don't tell me they're trans?
Are you consider calling someone fat or a whale the same as calling someone a slur?
Wait.
No, I want to hear his answer. I want to hear his answer.
It's the context of how, if you like, well, there's no context you can call a fat person a fucking whale without it being like disrespectful.
True.
I don't think disrespect is an issue to me.
Really?
Wait,
okay. Yes. But hold on. Stop. Do you think there's a difference between calling someone a slur and then calling someone a disrespectful?
Yeah, I think that slurs are additionally disrespectful. But I was just thinking like a general argument. Is it okay to be? I guess you would say it's okay to be disrespectful.
Yes, we do it all the time online. You be disrespectful to
never me.
People.
I'm always nice
you crack jokes. No, stop. You crack jokes. You crack jokes
Sure.
about people that you feel are being morally reprehensible. Right?
Absolutely
if
not.
Nick Fuentes, yes, you do.
You don't even know who I am.
I do know who you are. I'm literally the one who advocated for you to come on this thing.
I'm fangirling. Thank you so much.
I think more.
I'm tuned in. What I'm trying to say is, if you're being honest, I want you to say this right now. Are you saying there's never been a time where someone was being mean online or saying crazy stuff and that you didn't insult them?
Jokes all the time, absolutely. But I just don't think that she was being mean by like it not representing herself.
I think she was being worse than mean. I think she's being worse than mean.
She deserved it.
She's catfishing because
she's just.
If you catfish, no. If you catfish, fatfish, whalefish, I don't care what it is. If you do that, okay, you are doing something worse than being mean. You're wasting people's time. You're wasting people's emotional investment.
Worse than being mean.
Yes, it is.
It's way worse.
Stop. No, stop. This is crazy. I just want to make sure I understand.
Listen, hold on. You're talking about wasting time. You've been sitting with Destiny for 3 hours. You don't have anything to do. So it's like, what is wasting time really?
Okay, that's hilarious. That's funny.
Wait. That's totally different. One's consensual. How can you argue that being mean is way worse than catfishing somebody and like lying to somebody?
Okay, but how much do you have to tell somebody on a profile? You see pictures of them. Do you have to disclose your bank account too?
Okay, but if the narrative was true, fucking Destiny.
Yeah,
it's an honest question. Abba, would you still? Would you have Abba? Would you have the same? Would you have the same energy, Abba, if she'd killed herself after your video?
What are you talking about?
Let's say she killed herself after your video. Would you be like, yeah, I should be able to disrespect anybody that I want to online?
Hey, listen, I don't want anybody to kill themselves, but if she does because of that joke, what do you want me to do?
Wow. That's all that needs to be
said.
said.
This is your argument, Destiny. You would say, what the fuck? It's not the single joke that killed her. That's insane.
It could be. He's a huge creator. Being a huge creator is a huge responsibility.
It's not a single joke. It's not a single joke.
So Destiny,
literally permitted and even fun, and we can even have it as a treat. I think.
I appreciate the hypothetical that gets into spicy territory. Destiny, if you cover a news article, okay, let's say it's not the greatest news article, but you cover it, you're on stream, and then you mention somebody's name, and you're like, this person's a piece of shit. According to this news article, they're a piece of shit, and they go off and kill themselves, and then afterwards you find out that what's in the news article isn't true. Is it your fault?
I would never do that.
What, you've never looked at a news article and made commentary on it?
Not without having all the information first.
This fucking sneaky little sneakster. Oh my God.
He tried. So we all know. Okay, so we good. As long as I could get him on record, we all know he's just trolling. It's okay.
I'm not trolling at all. I do my best.
Yeah, you're dead serious right now.
Yeah, when I'm insulting people, I know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm not just looking for easy victims on the internet to score brownie points with my community while I dehumanize people struggling with weight issues.
That's cap. Maybe not weight issues, but you definitely do on other things. Anyways.
Hey, listen, weight issues are real, bro.
Yeah, they are real.
I just want to appreciate that I feel like when it comes to fat people, we all get anally like tight as soon as jokes come up or roasting or comments come up. And I feel like this is one of the few groups where they see that with. And I think if we're all being honest, the only reason that this is a deal is because she's fat. Now,
I think it's just because it was unwarranted and that you're just you're incorrect about that part. But okay, I see what you're saying.
I think the unwarranted part made it worse, but I absolutely think that...
No, I think it's unwarranted even under the context that you thought it was. But like, yeah, we're just going in circles at this point.
Seems like he just wants fat people to kill themselves. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, is that what you want me to do? Because that's what it feels like.
Just say it. Tell them.
I think I treat fat people the way I treat feminists. You know what I mean? Equal jokes for everybody. I don't care, women, whatever it is.
I knew it. After this is such a bad take. This like equal rights, equal fights shit. I've always
hated such a bad
take. Okay. Let's hear from our favorite communist. Go ahead.
I have a real serious question. Can I ask you? Because like this is actually
no. I actually want her to expand on that.
How dare you take away from the spice?
Go ahead, Aaron. So what's wrong with cracking jokes equally against everyone?
No. I'm saying I don't like the logic or like how you're approaching this. It's the wrong question. It's the wrong way to approach it with this like equal rights, equal fights thing.
All right.
Because like Papa Gut's bringing this criticism to you. Mm-hmm. And I guess the way that he framed the criticism, it kind of opens the door to these like endless divisive comparisons, and you're kind of just pointing to like, well, it's justified because other people do this and other people do that, and why doesn't anybody get equally as mad about this?
Absolutely.
Rather than just staking it on principles of how people ought to be treated, which I think is where Papa Gut was saying, which is that like, hey, you're fine to roast them, but like maybe keep the weight out of it, you know?
True.
Yeah, and I don't prescribe to that. I don't think there should be anything that's off limits in that regards. And so you prescribe to the things where it's like, let's make this a limit, or let's not talk about this, or not joke about that, which is fine. There's plenty of people who live in that world. I live in the world where I prefer it if people can make jokes and roasts about every aspect and attribute that people have.
Can I ask you an honest question about that, Abba?
Argument that you're using to justify it. The argument that you're using to justify it, like I don't even think you believe yourself, because like I don't want to conflate like certain types of bullying with just racism, but like imagine if I was racist to you and then I was like, what, racism is like really accepted within this like society that we live in, like are you seriously going to give me a bunch of shit for it and justify it on those grounds?
Hold up. When you come to racism, I'm pretty much cool with racist jokes.
Really?
Yeah, really? I accept a lot of racist jokes. Yeah.
So if I called you the N-word, you'd be okay with that?
I don't think that's a joke.
What if I said it in a funny way?
Okay, well, what's the funny way? Go ahead, try it. Go ahead.
Like with the ER?
No. Destiny's favorite word. Let's go, use it.
Well, hello?
Yeah.
My mic is...
I heard him say it.
Mic cut out.
Oh, yeah. How handy that your mic cut off.
Soon as the N-word comes up. Soon as the N-word comes up, you know what I mean?
I have technology issues.
Sorry, hello? My mic is out.
Abba, that's what you're saying.
That's essentially what you're saying. That's the world you're advocating for. Abba, I'm just saying that when I insult people online, I like to think of like what would MLK?
All right. If you would have delivered that without laughing, you would have done a decent job.
Can I be honest here? I think the only reason you get away with it what you're doing, Abba, is because you're black. It's black privilege. So
I think that's definitely a part of it. Sure.
Whoa.
I was kidding. What the fuck?
Jesus.
I'm not even joking. I think black people definitely get a lot of leeway to say a lot of things online.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? You kind of threw off my joke there a little bit. So
I know it's almost like you were, telling the truth through funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Sneeko I hello.
I was going like super mode. He's just.
I'm also a person of color, so I can say these things because I am actually Jewish. So
yeah, no. If we're being honest, black people can definitely get away with certain jokes that other can't. Destiny especially can't say pretty much anything.
Who?
But didn't you just make Papa Gut's argument?
Girl, and
how did I make Papa Gut's argument?
Is the new Jew in town?
Because
well,
Destiny
I'm
just said
Jewish, and I hate my father, so I'm like Jewish. You know
Holy shit! Is this Mr. Girl?
Jesus.
Oh no, dude! Did I replace this guy?
Are you also
nah, you've not been a sneaky little weasel yet.
That's the only reason I didn't want to talk to you guys is because of that guy.
Okay,
so, what?
Hold on. Aaron wants to keep being spicy. Aaron, what did you want to say?
I was saying that I think you just made Papa Gut's argument towards Destiny.
Yeah,
because Destiny was like, what if I called you the N-word, Abba? And you were like, that's not a joke. Okay, well, Papa Gut saying like calling someone a whale is not a joke.
Yeah, where's the humor in that?
Are we doing this autistic thing again where we're comparing using slurs with somebody?
Oh, now he's being ableist.
Slur? Isn't that an ableist slur now? Like when you
No. That's why I came into this saying that I was kind of hesitant to make this comparison because I'm not trying to conflate something like bullying with like racism. These are two different things. But it's kind of the same logic when you're saying like when Destiny's like, can I just call you the N-word? It's a joke, LOL. And you're like, no, that's not a joke.
Yeah,
it's totally different. Literally, Destiny just sitting there and then turning to Abba and saying the N-word is not the same context as in the video that Abba made where he calls the person a whale. They're also not comparable.
It's totally comparable. First of all, hold on, wait. First of all, calling someone a whale is not funny
because the context of the joke itself needs to actually be properly heard. So what happens is that he calls the lady a catfish. I'm like, nah, bro, that's a whalefish, okay? And that's how it kind of happened. So it wasn't just being like,
now there's context.
I said in a funny way. I'm going to own it. I mean, it wasn't the best joke, but
can you send me the raw video so I can react to it?
So what if it was like somebody of a different
I removed it from the internet.
I mean, of course I removed it. I removed it a while ago.
Why are you so ashamed of it? What the fuck, dude?
Hold up. Stop. I'm not ashamed of the joke itself. You understand why I took it down, correct?
Yeah, but I'm not saying
hateful.
I'm not saying put it back up. I'll put a big disclaimer in front of it that says like Abba is very
No,
sorry for the joke.
No, you're missing. The reason why he took the video down was because he spread misinformation about her lying and trying to catfish, which never happened. He didn't take it down for the whale comment. I'm just making it really clear.
Do you really think that I was asked like you? Do you really think I thought he was going to give me the video? And I was like, yeah, Abba.
I have no idea.
So
I
don't know because Aaron literally unironically tried to equate Destiny's comment with like the context.
Yes,
she wasn't equating the comment. She was using the logic.
What level of social skill we're operating off of, okay?
I'm curious. I actually want to understand it better. So how are they?
It's another episode of Erudite picking fight with all the women in the call. Jesus.
Yes. So I'm actually concerned. I'm actually curious, Destiny. How is it similar in terms of logic? Explain.
Well, the logic that you're using is that there are certain immutable characteristics that are fun to attack people on, okay? And you're saying that as long as the joke is funny, it's okay. But and then you're saying that, well, people attack people on other types of things like being short, and people don't care about that, so it might be okay. And what our commie friend here, Aaron, is saying is that, well, people use that to justify being racist towards other people because other people are racist towards some people. They might say that like, oh, well, I can call you the N-word because people make fun of white people all the time and nobody cares about that.
Okay, my issue is not making fun of someone because they're black. My issue is just the fact that you're using the slur. That's it. You want to make fun of someone because they're black? You certainly can.
Oh, so if whale was a slur?
Stop. We do it all the time. Even we do it. And if it became a slur, then you can certainly make that argument, but it's never become one, so you'll have to address it.
Weight's not immutable. Weight is not an immutable thing.
You're also correct about that. But
it can be.
Stop. When Wesley Snipes was on the scene, people were calling him Darkness Falls. Nobody had no issue with it. There's plenty of people who do black-related jokes that get to slide, and nobody has a problem with it. So this idea...
that's not necessarily
Me
true.
and Papa God would have problems with it.
Jokes about...
That's what I'm saying, Abba.
It's a lot more societally palatable to make jokes about fat people than black people. It's not very easy to do.
Sure. And if you want to make the argument that we should be able to make jokes about
in the reverse, and before you were saying no, fat people are the most red flagged or whatever. Like that's not true. Like
I think
hold on. If you want to make the argument, if you want to make the argument that we should be able to make fun of fat folks, I have no problem with it. Go ahead. I'm saying that the only reason that folks came out of here is because fat people are put in this protective bubble where you cannot make fun of them in public without it being a big deal. If you want to include black people in that bubble, you certainly can. You could probably put trans people in that. You could probably put trans people in that bubble if you wanted to try. You could put a bunch of things, but it doesn't change the fact
have you ever been fat at any point in your life? Have you ever been like obese or overweight?
I have, but that has no relevance on this discussion.
Really?
Yes.
Because you felt like when you were obese or overweight, you felt like people put you in like a special box where they didn't touch your weight or criticize you for it. Are you serious?
I felt like people felt uncomfortable about making comments about it. Yes.
Really?
So here's an example. When I was deathly skinny, I had a collapsed lung from being so thin. People made comments every single day about how skinny I was without fail. Okay.
Are you happy that they did it though? Is it a good thing that they made comments?
That's not the point. That's not what we're talking about.
It is the point because that's what we're talking about.
No, stop. We're derailing it. We're moving off the point. The point is whether or not these things are commonplace and they're socially accepted. And so my point to you is it's absolutely socially accepted to make any comment you want about someone being skinny, but as far as being fat, that is different.
Okay.
Okay. But
so as long as that's the case, we can just make fun of anybody for anything.
But they're kind of both bad.
What'd you say?
How about this? If somebody if somebody went on a date with a woman and they found out that she couldn't have kids or something like that,
make fun of her uterus.
Yeah, and make fun of her for calling her barren or whatever. Would that be acceptable?
Uterus,
in what context? So are you asking me if
they're lying
able
and you
to?
didn't get the consensual date? Like that's what the fundamentals is.
Hold on. No, stop.
If
she's going on a bunch of dates or she's getting in relationships with people and she's lying about the fact that she can or can't have a kid, roast her.
Wow. Yeah, I just disagree with that. That seems shitty.
That's fine, and you can disagree.
Obviously struggling with the fact that they can't have kids, and that's really eating at them. So I wouldn't fuck with them.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
It's
like Abba doesn't understand intergenerational tremor or anything at all.
Oh my.
No, it's not that. I think the biggest problem is that so your argument is that you shouldn't be getting after me for making this because it's really socially acceptable to do it to these other to short people, right? Okay, so fast forward 20 years. If it's now unacceptable to make fun of short people, would you be backing off of this?
You're misrepresenting my premise. My premise is simple: is that we should be able to make fun of folks for pretty much anything. Now, I exclude slur out of it because of the historical context of them, but outside of that, I think you should be able to make fun of people for pretty much anything. Now, if you want to say to me that there are certain situations in which it's inappropriate to, for example, let's say if someone's just walking down the street and you start roasting them, I wouldn't say that's okay. They didn't do anything to deserve that, or they didn't even really get. But if someone does something evil, okay, and we as a society pretty much accept it, or someone does someone that you think is extremely unethical, plenty of people feel it's fine to roast folks. Now you may disagree.
It's extremely unethical. Is that what you're saying? To not tell people you're fat or barren? Is that what you're saying?
What'd you just say?
Do you think it's extremely unethical for somebody to not say that they can't have kids on a date? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying if you're going into a relationship and you're spending all that time misrepresenting the fact that you can't have kids if someone asks, or if you you being barren or not is not something that you would just convey to somebody initially. If you're taking pictures online and you're hiding the fact that you're fat, that's completely different than conveying to someone the fact that you're barren or not. Do you not see the difference between those two things?
Obviously, this is so obvious. This
is autistic. These comparisons are fucking stupid.
Imagine telling a sexual assault victim and being like, well, if you're not immediately open with the person you're talking to that, hey, you've got a bit of trauma around sexuality, that now you're catfishing. Nobody's making that argument. There's a big gap between not telling people very deep, personal, intimate details about yourself versus lying about how you look.
Excuse me, what could be more deep and intimate than how much you weigh? You're literally saying people should put a fucking scale in their second picture and they need to disclose their exact weight. What's next? Their waist measurements? Their bra size? How much do you need to disclose? Kyla, there's a picture when you see somebody in real life. When you see somebody in real life, you can evaluate how you like them, how you don't like them. You don't have to call them a fucking whale. That is disgusting.
Okay, so
I can't take you seriously if you're not arguing seriously. I can't do it.
Okay. She's being a fat ally right now.
Yeah, just call it all a joke, dude. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but I can hear the fucking snickering, lying chuckle in his voice.
Whoa, careful, hold on. You were really close to making an acceptable joke to ABBA there, okay?
New example. New example. A trans woman goes on a date, doesn't disclose that she is trans. The person calls her.
Hold on. You can tell though, right?
Oh, we can hear you now.
Hello?
Let's hear good. Sorry, go ahead.
Whoa. All right. Okay, so what I was saying, a trans woman goes on a date with somebody, doesn't disclose that she's trans, and that person, upon finding out that they are trans, calls them a man.
But that's a different thing.
Are you comparing misgendering somebody intentionally to concept.
Well, you understand
I'm just
the
asking.
fundamentals of
I'm
her
just asking.
argument.
I'm not making
it's
one
not the
argument
same.
one way or the other. I'm just asking.
Kato,
These things are not analogous. It's like
Mocking
crazy to
somebody
me.
being mean
can
isn't
you
the same
roast
as
that
cracking
person?
jokes.
Can you roast a trans person? Absolutely.
No, okay.
Well, what do you want me to say?
I'm not trying to make an argument one way or the other. I was just asking.
I can't stop laughing. I'm sorry. I can't construct an argument. The fundamentally what she's asking.
Let's move on from this example because it's stupid. So
no, it's a good example.
Yeah, because it crushes you. It's stupid.
It destroys your entire all of your logic.
I think I have a better example though than this one.
Here we go. Okay, what if
I'm not muted.
Hi, low tier god. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, there's a guy in here named, what's his name? Gut King or something like that? Papa Gut?
Hold on. Wait, hold on. You can see my fucking name. Like, you can't read Papa Gut, dude?
No, I can't read Papa Gut.
That's
just like you don't understand. For some reason, you don't understand. So we're talking about people fat shaming, but at the same time,
hold on.
What are you doing?
How come you came in so disrespectful by not saying my name?
I've seen a couple of videos that you did that was disrespect.
Oh, shit. Like what? What'd I do?